And now I'd like to recognize our clerk and of the Circuit Court and Comptroller, Joe Abruzzo, for a special presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I believe you will all find it truly special with some good news I am about to report. But first off, I want to thank the County Commission and specifically you, Mr. Mayor, for serving as the chair of our Investment Policy Committee. You set the standards by which our office can operate and invest in the different products that we have, and we'll speak a little bit about that today. Our team proactively, thoughtfully management of the county investment portfolio has resulted in record-breaking returns for Palm Beach County and its residents. When I took office in 2001, I inherited about a $27 million investment return on our portfolio. I'm about to report a lot more today. And that's due to several factors, which I will go through in detail. But one of the first things that I did when I took office, I ordered the divestment from several of our products that I didn't think were up to par. And then I came to you, the Board of County Commissioners, who upped us in our investment in Israeli bonds, which at the time were far outperforming our U.S. bonds. In 2022, the portfolio earned $32.6 million in investment income. In fiscal year 2023, we are on track for an exceptional year. If interest rates stay at current levels or higher, we expect to earn close to $160 million in investment income, at least 4 times better than 2022, and the highest ever earned in any fiscal year in county's history. I would submit that this gain we are experiencing is truly exceptional. We did this when the worst bond market performance in almost 30 years. One thing that we decided to do when I took office, or I continue to do, I should say, is we invest our money in-house. But one thing that I did do, I brought in the gold standard bearers of those who manage government money, like Goldman Sachs and several other financial institutions, just to get an idea if they had our money, what would happen. So we got the full reports. I decided to keep it in-house with our investment team, which I will speak about in a moment. And every 6 months or so, I get reports that if we went down that path and we paid these outrageous fees, and if they had our money, what would happen? And we are far outperforming doing it in-house. And that's really due to our financial side. Radcliffe Brown is here, our chief of finance. Felicia Landerman, who acts as our in-house county treasurer. And John Burford, who is our expert financial analysis. And just to let you know, as your comptroller, I also am the treasurer of the county and the chief financial officer. When I took office in 2021, I had real concerns about inflation and how it would affect our portfolio. Market rates started to climb in August 2021, and the treasurer team redeemed lower yield CDs early with little to no penalties. Any cash redemptions or maturities was invested into money market accounts that were tied to the upper bound of the Fed fund rate, meaning we were able to benefit from subsequently rate increases and avoid taking on market risk. When I served as vice chair of finance and tax in the Senate, and I was actually ranking member on Ways and Means, I sat through about 10 years of financial analysis reporting by our financial experts at the state. And was on record all the way back in 2016, extremely concerned about inflation and our debt, which I will get to in a little bit. The overall portfolio duration shortened from 1 year to 0.2 of a year. By the time the Fed raised rates initially in March 2022, the portfolio was positioned to benefit from each rate increase, with 82% of our portfolio tied directly to the Fed fund rate. When I took office, the portfolio was yielding a 0.6% return. Now we are just about at 5%. Our portfolio performance is better than you're seeing elsewhere. In fiscal year 2022, the portfolio total return was 1%. This is in sharp contrast to a 1 to 3 year Treasury bond fund index, which decreased 4% over the same period. The index is a benchmark for short-term fixed income portfolios such as ours. The negative total return of the index was due to bond prices exceeding interest income by a wide margin. We avoid such losses by structuring the portfolio to be almost fully invested in cash and floating rate investments. And looking ahead, almost 90% of the portfolio is currently invested in bank certificates for deposit or money market accounts. With a few recent bank failures, as we're all aware of, there is no need for concern over the safety of these deposits. All deposits are safe and secure, invested in banks that are part of the State of Florida Qualified Public Depository Program. As such, all deposits are collateralized by government securities as required by statute. Also, what the state did, which was really great and different than many other states, when we public deposit our money, the state, by law, makes sure that all the banks that take government money are shared in a pool, so that if one bank fails, the other banks have to step in and provide for our loss, which is really important. Currently, the evidence from the Federal Reserve commentary indicates that they intend to continue to rate the rate increases until inflation falls to 2%. Currently, it's at 4.7%. The fiscal market expects rates to peak in May, then gradually decline, if that truly happens. Once the Federal Reserve pauses on rate hikes, the investment team will take measures to extend investment maturities within the parameters of the county investment policy, meaning that as soon as we see that the Feds halts the rate hikes, we'll go into longer-term investments to lock up those great rates, so we have these type of funds or close to it for years to come. I did want to speak a little bit about where we're at nationally and our debt. I think it's important. We just heard some obviously great news for Palm Beach County, but as we sit today, we have about a 31.6, closing in on a $31.7 trillion national debt, which is by far the largest in our nation's history. We have spending, our federal government, and we're not even getting into the states, is spending about a little over $6 trillion, and we only have 4.6 trillion of income coming in currently. Make a long story short, we are close to a $1.6 trillion deficit as we sit here today, just in this fiscal year. We have a trade deficit that's not included in those numbers of close to 1.2 trillion, meaning that we're selling overseas less than those who are eating off our plates here by over $1 trillion. It is extremely challenging times. You know, we got here, in my opinion, I'm sure many of you remember, Bill Clinton, Newt Gingrich, Leon Panetta, who's the budget chair and White House chief of staff at the time, worked really hard together, probably one of the most overlooked bipartisan efforts to balance our federal budget and actually have a surplus. Then with the Iraq war and things of that nature, we just started to plummet in trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars worth of debt. I do not know how we are ever going to manage getting out of a 31, soon to be $32 trillion credit card bill with the deficit, but it's extremely problematic. And parties aside, philosophies aside, it's just the hole that we are in. One thing that we saw happen, which I was greatly concerned about, China and Russia have decided to stop using the US dollar as the world currency. What that means, right now, the world has always operated with the dollar being, or when I say always, in our lifetimes, always operated as the dollar being the world reserve currency, which is why we're able to keep raising the debt limits and get these low interest rates for all this debt that we have. If China and Russia's plan and the world plan is to remove us as the world currency, we will never be able to go out and keep borrowing money like we're doing, and our interest rates are going to skyrocket. We've paid over $4 trillion in interest alone. That is going to go much, much higher if that happens, so it's obviously a great concern. I'm telling you this because I will always watch our portfolio. I'm not held in a bubble by just what's going on at home. I know that these world events will absolutely affect the billions of dollars that we have here at the county. We are currently holding right now, you do have a spreadsheet in front of you, but I see that's from 2022, September 30th. It shows 3 billion. We have 4 billion, just under 4 billion. It's like 3,968. Yeah. So approximately $4 billion in our accounts right now. So this is serious money that we always have to take a global look to make sure we're operating correctly. I'm always open to questions, but the 160 million, I think is great. You will receive the majority of that to spend in the community as you see fit, and we are going to take every effort to keep that money going, keep that investment return going. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. I just want to compliment your investment team, their efforts at getting the best return while protecting the principal and never putting the principal at risk, so that our taxpayers' funds will be returned to them as they had made available for us to utilize. So their efforts, and unfortunately, probably go unnoticed, but certainly not by me, and I know not by our board. So I want to thank you all, and thank you for your leadership, sir, in making sure that we have our investments protected, but a wonderful return as well. And so thank you very much, and appreciate all you all do.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Right, anyone else? Commissioner Bernard, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Clerk Abruzzo, you started saying like you started as a clerk in 2001, and I was like,
21.
I know you started. I was like, man, you were saving us money in high school. So, but I know you were like thinking about just how to protect the residents in Palm Beach County even at that time. So, really appreciate you providing us this update regarding the projected funds that we would receive. That's a record, and that's a testament to you, your whole team. Thanks for being here. And also thanks for providing us the global update regarding our debt, because it's so important for us to know exactly what's going on, not just in the state of Florida, but also in the United States and globally. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mayor.
Vice Mayor Sachs, you're recognized.
Did you want to respond to Commissioner Bernard?
Well, thank you, Commissioner Sachs. Some high schoolers dream about being athletes or big things. I was thinking about being a clerk.
Honorable Abruzzo, I didn't know you in high school, but I have a feeling you weren't thinking about being a clerk in high school. But I know that while you were in the Florida Senate, you were selected to serve on the Budget Committee and looking at directing the finances of this great state of Florida. And now you're here with us with this great team to work on the county's finances. So we are truly, truly blessed to have you and this team to further our finances, especially in this whirlwind of global finances and the position of the United States in the world financial markets. So thank you, and I want to keep you here as long as we can. I don't want you to think about going anywhere else. We want to keep you here and keep an eye on our finances as you have done so well with your team. Thank you, Honorable Abruzzo. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. Thank you very much for your report, and have a wonderful day.
All right. Appreciate it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.